Hello everybody, welcome along to JACKOCAR Season 1 Round 8 here at the Temple of Speed. It is the Italian Grand Prix, Round 8, like I say, getting close to the end of the first part of the season. And, well, we've been told we've got a full wet race up ahead, and so we could well be looking at another massive shake-up in the order, just as we saw last week in Belgium. But anyway, I'm your commentator, Owen Wyatt, and with me, as usual, the creator of JACKOCAR, man is named after, Jacko.
Good evening. Thanks for that, Owen. It's always a pleasure. As you just mentioned there, full wet race. I've been waiting for this all season to see how these drivers negate the rain. So I'm excited. I don't know about you. I'll tell you what I also want is a nice cheeky stream link. Thank you very much.
Why don't you get the stream link yourself? I think if you put notifications on for your own channel, then you'll get the stream link sorted.
You would think I would have that set up, wouldn't you, by now?
You'd think that would be the first thing you'd do.
Well,
I'll get a link sorted.
You commentate, I'll get that. Don't worry.
I've already started now. You can't tell me to stop after I've started. Righty. Now the good thing about this being a wet race actually is, well, qualifying, because it means you get an actual qualifying session. You're always going to get a proper qualifying session here anyway, but it just means they are going to go for it a little bit more. They know they mess up qualifying and there's plenty of time to make it up in the race, etc. But yeah, we've got two people tonight on the Joker strategy, and this could really help them out. And again, before we jinx them all, which we will, one of them is TC, who obviously had that massive crash last week and caused all sorts of chaos. And at the exact same time as TC, the other Joker man, John, had his own separate massive accident. So really it can't possibly go much worse than last week for them. So if you think about it that way, it's going to be good for them. But they are our Jokers. And then we've also got the two ones to watches, which are Clyde and Camubab, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were next on my list to be promoted to the ones to watch page, so that is a significant problem for them this week.
Yes.
But going back to the Jokers there, Owen, TC, out of the two, you'd have to say TC, who's been there or thereabouts at the top end of the field all season. This is a great opportunity for him tonight.
It is a fantastic opportunity. Because with the rain, in a wet race, it's always going to be at least a one stop anyway. So it's the ideal strategy to take. I guess, though, if you're at the front, then you're fine with the one stop, and that will help you out more than it would in a dry race. But if you're in the midfield, like John might well end up being, then it's very easy to get involved in accidents. So they're just going to be slow and steady with this one, because every lap's going to be a different challenge, and you've just got to be ready for that one stop. That's all you need to worry about. The rest will probably be quicker than the two Jokers, because they'll push more on the tyres, but apart from that, they should be okay. They're also going to have to worry about, if we say go from wets to inters, when's that going to happen? They could end up stopping twice anyway, just depending on when the weather changes. But plenty of things to worry about. But if it all goes to plan, which it looks like it might, then they're on for a good day.
Absolutely. And TC especially, he's one of those drivers who doesn't necessarily need a good day, but he's just about safe for the moment when it comes to talking about the playoffs. He's 14 points above the cut line, so that's a good handful away from the guys that are fighting below him. But he could just do it some security, and if he could get a race win today, he's sorted. He'll be there and back in one of the top 10 fighting for it.
Oh, there's a car off in the wall. It's Yuri. Currently down in last place. He's taken off his livery from last week, which gave him no luck, and he's still got the helmet by the looks of it, but he's got the livery that's still unlucky. Nothing's lucky for him at the moment. Yuri looking just to have one good result. Maybe today could be his day, really, but you just never know. He just needs to stop crashing. Still looking to have really his first good race of the season, I guess you could argue. We maybe would have expected a bit more from him, but yeah, down in last at the moment. Not the first time we've seen him down there.
No. I was speaking to him earlier. I said he's in a position now where he's really having to fight for points these next 3 races. But if he gets a win, he's sorted. He's there. So hopefully the best of Yuri is yet to come, but it'd be good to see him up there.
Yeah. So we've got the first set of laps done. 1 minute 20.4, fastest time we have with Khalifa. I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat, might have been Pete if I recall, was in the low 19s when he was doing practice. So
yeah, times
are certainly there for these guys. I don't think we'll see anyone quite in the 18s, but certainly a 19 from someone might well be possible. I'm trying to think of how many people have got special liveries out, and the only one I can recall is Dexter, who's got his Danish flag with a bit of gold on it, which is very nice. I think he might have even changed the helmet design as well with it, although that could just
his ILR8 helmet, I
be
believe.
Yeah, the ILR8 stuff. My favourite ILR8 helmet by a long way. If you all remember that.
Denmark there, Dexter again was speaking to me before the race. That livery,
Nick has binned it.
Royalty. Has he?
He has indeed. That is off in Ascari. And so from the heights of, well, a massive accident last week, he's had a maybe slightly smaller accident this week in qualifying, but it looks like he'll end up starting last, unless others, of course, have incidents who are behind him. That would be Splinter, Frenagamo, Keika, or Yuri. But yeah, that puts him on the back foot, but then again, wet race, anything can happen.
Yeah. Nick coming into this with no practice. Sharp on the Denmark there. There's the Queen, the Danish Queen's birthday today, hence the gold on Dexter's livery.
Ah, fair enough.
You told me that, I didn't know that.
Yeah, not surprising. As Fernagamo gets the first chicane totally wrong and is off into the grass. And no, the grass didn't paint that car that colour, it's just naturally that ugly.
I think it's a very good looking car, actually.
I mean, it's growing on me a little bit, but no, still no. Anyway, we've got Pete on a lap, currently on a 1 minute 21.8 for his best so far. We think he's got maybe nearly 3 seconds left still in that car, although he's not taking the Lesmos too well. He's been on the grass the whole way round there, and so looks like another not that good lap. Of course, we don't know how many laps these guys have to practice to get a good lap time, but it is actually so difficult to nail it around here, especially when you've got corners like Ascari, where if you make a little cut you'll lose the lap, or if you just take it a little bit wrong you'll crash. It's quite a difficult balance, but I think Pete will get to the end of the lap with an improvement anyway. We'll see if it gets him to the top or not. Clean run out of the Parabolica, up to the line. Where's he going to go? P1.
And if you listen to him, he's still got another, what, 1.2 in that car?
Certainly watching that, he's got plenty in there. So I would say that 119 is certainly realistic. Just depends how low he gets into those 1 minute 19s. That'll be the deciding factor, I guess, maybe.
He's yet to get a pole this season as well. Khalifa's got 4 of them.
Watching Clyde.
On the first run. P2.
Got to give Clyde the ones to watch. Attention now, so maybe we hopefully forget that he's a ones to watch later on, as he takes a scary, a bit wrong. And more yellow flags behind him in the Ascari corner. That might just be people slowing down rather than an accident. You can see a gaggle of 5 cars all in the same space. But Clyde up to the line. It says outlap, but I promise it's a proper lap. He goes P6. Khalifa has started his next lap now. This will be interesting to see if he can put himself into the 1 minute 19s. Through the first sector, how is he doing? He's up by nearly a tenth of a second, attacking his El Roger chicane and up towards the Lesmos. We'll see if he goes wide like Pete did, or if he can get it a bit better. He does go wide but missed the grass, and that means that he'll have a better entry to the second Lesmo. He hits that apex a lot nicer, and that means he'll probably have a lot more speed all the way down towards Ascari. So this looks like it should be a good lap. If he can just hook up Ascari, then he should be going P1 with this relatively easily and being the first man into the 1 minute 19s. And Ascari did look pretty clean there, so
very nice.
Should be a good lap here as he heads towards the Parabolica corner. I think Dexter just crossed the line there in P3. But Khalifa is around the last corner onto the start-finish straight. Where's he going to go? He stays tight to the inside line and crosses the line with a 1 minute 19.754 to go P1.
Over to you, Mr. Knighton. What can he do on the next run?
Well, there's certainly plenty to find. I think he knows that very well indeed. And look at this, Whiteout getting a great toe off the back of Biesma. That'll help him out if he can get it nice and slowed down into the parabolic. Currently P6, 9/10 off P1. Just has to find a 10.5 to go P3. Will he do that? He did, but it was in... took a while after. I thought he might have been valid for a second, but no, it was valid. And he goes P2. That's how much the toe helps. And now you can see there that Biesma took the toe straight back off him. I wonder if that is a bit of teamwork there between those two.
They're not on the same team, but something that Whiteout's going to have to worry about during the race is he has 15 seconds worth of penalties to be added on at the end of the race due to his problems last week with Risky Racer. So he needs to be towards the front to drive away from everybody. But that's easier said than done in the rain.
Yeah. Yellows, sector 1. A car's gone off at the exit of the first chicane. It is Frenagamo once again taking that first chicane poorly. He's really struggling in there. Currently hasn't got a representative lap on the board yet. So he's really got to get his act together with this. But, right. Baza has just rounded the last quarter, but I think he's en route to the pit lane. He is. MK Bourne is sideways through the first Lesmo. It's not going too well for him. We've got yellow flags, but I don't know who that's for. No one in the middle section with any issues, but it looks of it. Biesma's finishing his lap now. Took that switch team at the start of the lap, gave him about 5 extra mile an hour, I'd imagine. Can he get himself up into the top 10? No, didn't improve on the lap in the end. Baza straight back out of the pit lane. He was wasting no time there, but here comes MK Bourne. He has given that one up.
I'm just watching OKK come out of Ascari sideways.
Yes, watch him. See how he's getting on in the final
to start a lap, I believe.
Corner. I'd be surprised if he's starting a lap with that low ERS. He's certainly not on for a representative lap. He'll have to pit. So he does. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go then in qualifying. Now, will we get a clean end, or will we get an ILR 5, I want to say season 4 or 5, when everyone started crashing on this track? I remember it quite well. I think it was ILR 5 season 5. It was a mess.
Not one I can remember.
Season 4. Season 4, season 5. I can't remember the exact time, but I do remember it was quite a memorable session, I promised. But yeah,
I'm thinking,
they all crashed.
The real Italian qualifying last season.
Well, yeah, that was worse. No one bothered to do anything. They all sat behind, blocked each other,
yeah,
upset Sebastian Vettel, and only 2 of them got laps done in the end. Well, one, Sainz did, but Leclerc also got across the line, but don't tell Croft that he had no idea. Jess has messed up the De La Rocha chicane on that lap. Maybe not the best start to her lap, but she's got to get a move on and keep it going. Jess with, I think, her best result last week in the end.
Equal best result, actually.
Equal.
She was demoted down to P6 after Baza had a penalty removed, so that was 2 P6s in a row for Jess.
Fair enough. Good to see her on good form. Don't know how far she is off the playoffs, but you never know.
Jess is 26 points away off the cut line as it stands.
She can keep getting P6s. You never know what she could get up there, but yeah, certainly on a good run at the moment. As she comes up to the line, though, will she improve? Yes, but not any positions. She did make quite a lot of time on her best lap, though, but we're now towards the end of the session, and look at this, it's already beginning as Dexter and Yuri. Well, that's not fair at all. That is absolutely unbelievable. So let me just get this straight. Dexter's just got a 5-place grid penalty for blocking. Now let me explain what he was doing there. He was letting somebody through who was on a lap. He didn't want to come out of the pit lane and be on the apex of turn 1, but he had to wait because he would have had an accident. And so the game thinks that means he's been blocking blocking Yuri, who was just behind. That is unbelievable. That should never, ever, ever, ever be a penalty, ever. That's ridiculous, that.
Sadly, nothing we can do about that either.
Yeah.
That is a game penalty. So he'll be on for a P10 start now. That's a shame.
Can I just say, MK Bourne right now has just started his lap as we see retirement there of Mr. John. He's going to start quite low down on this Joker strategy. But MK Bourne is just sitting in the toe of Khalifa. Currently P1, of course, the pink car. But MK Bourne was alright in the first sector. He gained some time. Might be struggling a bit with dirty air, but if he can keep this sort of distance, he's going to get a phenomenal run. But so is Khalifa, because Khalifa's on the back of someone as well. A lot of this slipstreaming going on as the timer begins to tick down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Khalifa's not up as we hit 0, so he's got to find someone. This is his last try. And TC as well. Well, it's his last try as well. He's not on a good lap at the minute. I think he's losing time. Is MK Bourne still close? He is, but he's fallen back, so Khalifa should be going faster than him, really, thanks to the toe from TC. But TC, the other man on the Joker, has got to get his lap together. Is it going to be a good position for him? No, it's not. MK Bourne.
Second.
Yeah, well, he made that strategy work then, sitting in the rear toe. So fair play to him there. Who's getting close to the end of the lap?
Right out to the line. He's third at the moment.
9 seconds off.
Oh, I didn't see that bit.
Yeah. Pete, 3/10 up in the middle sector. Oh, he's got it wrong at Ascari. That's agonising as he gets it completely wrong. We'll still watch the end of the lap, although he has backed off. Arnaud backs off as well after his attempt. Dexter has backed off too, I think.
Risky Race is still going.
Yeah, we're watching him.
Though.
No toe, but we'll see. And wide as Pete retires. Huge money on the steer.
Oh, he's driven into the wall there.
I guess it was invalid then. And that is qualifying then. We've got quite a pile up on the main straight now. Well, I'll say that, we've got 2 cars in there, but still. So it is Khalifa then who takes pole from MK Bourne. Good strategy for him. He's got a puncture actually, but he has ended up second. Somehow with a puncture, he must have got that on the in lap. But yeah, he's just stuck on the toe of the fastest guy out there, and it paid dividends.
Yeah, of all the toes to be stuck in as well, that was probably about the best one.
Yeah.
He's got himself a front row start now.
Yes.
Whiteout as well, with his previous lap going third, that was solid from him. Awesome drive.
Indeed. It's because he's going back to the good livery. You know, he's taken advice and gone back to the livery that people can actually look at without wanting to throw up. As in, it's the better configuration of the colour scheme. Anyway, we'll go through the grid then. It is Khalifa on pole from MK Bourne, Whiteside, Pete, Arnaud, Risky, Camo, Babu will be ahead of Dexter as well. OKK, Clyde, Indecisive and Yuri as well. So that'll put Dexter down to 12th. That unfair penalty, it is unfair. Baza 13th, TC 14th, Beezer 15th, Fennegan was 16th, Jess 17th, and then the 3 knots at a time, Mr. John, Nick and Spencer. And the 2 Joker drivers absolutely nowhere at all, really. They're going to need to really take advantage of that one stop that they get to take.
Absolutely. Owen, whilst we're in this interval, I'll give you a rundown of the 10 drivers that are currently fighting for 5 positions for the playoffs. They are Dexter, TC, Cloud, Baza, MK Bourne. Those 5 are in. The first 5 that are out are Camo Babo, Whiteout, Risky Racer, Indecisive Matt, and Mr. John. So they are the 10 that you want to be keeping an eye on today, because they are on the cusp of the playoff places. But of course, if somebody, say like Yuri, goes and wins a race, those 5 places become 4.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'll need to keep you. Well, you're going to have to keep me right on that, because you know I'm going to get very confused quite a lot with this. You'd think by now I would have learnt all the ins and outs, but no.
No. It's the only reason I'm here, actually, is for the points.
Yeah. Anyway, you can see that we've got a very wet track here at Monza. Not quite monsoon conditions. Still haven't seen that happen in a league race. I've seen it happen in a qualifying once, but never in an actual league race itself. But still, heavy rain's nice. But it's just not as fun as monsoon. One day I'll see it, and I'll absolutely lose my mind when I see it, and you'll know when I see it because I'll be all giddy and stuff. But anyway, let's have a look at these liveries then, shall we? Think which one will give the best one to. I can't lie, I'm already sort of tempted to give it straight to Dexter. Got a nice scheme. He's got good reason to have it. He needs to be pick me up from that qualifying session. So yeah, livery of the week. Whoop-de-doo. Hope you like that, Dexter. It's probably not the first time he's won it either because his other one's pretty banging as well. So he's pretty good with these liveries, isn't he? Ah, that's a car off. That's OKK in the wall. And that just shows how difficult this is going to be. It's always a bad sign when you see OKK, or not, well, it was Risky Racer last week, the guy that kept crashing under slow conditions, but this week it's OKK. Always a bad sign. Beesman's off as well.
Beesman's off, yeah.
They're not able to get around the formation lap. This isn't good, is it?
Very entertaining race.
I've also got to say, as you mentioned, Dexter appears to have the colours of his helmet last year. It's not as red as the ILR helmet, but still very nice. So you're going to get the clean sweep this week, my friend. And yeah, well done. You've got helmet of the week, you've got livery of the week, you've got... It's not your first... Yeah, you've got 2 liveries of the week. You might... I don't know if he's the only one that's got that, actually. He might well be the only one who's got that.
He may well be, yeah.
I seem to recall, I swear I gave it to someone else, but I can't remember. We need to look back, and not really going to do that right now. But, yeah.
I think you gave it to him in Abu Dhabi.
I think I might have given it... I thought it was Hungary I gave it to him, but either way, let's not argue about liveries. And yes, Nick, I will get to you eventually, because yours is also very nice. Can we give it to 2 people in 1 week? Just so he doesn't fire me. Just so he doesn't fire me. You've got a lovely livery, Nick. Anyway, we are getting ready now.
The one hub colours there.
Love the one hub colours. But here we go. This is going to be something else. We've got only 2 drivers who will be on the Joker. As you can see, everyone's on wet, so we'll just like a positions changed until the weather changes, if it does change. But 2 on Jokers, Mr. John and TC. They're going to be mostly the ones to watch if they didn't get involved in accidents. Issue is they're so far down the field, uncharacteristically so for TC especially, that it will be quite difficult. But it is one of the longest runs down to turn 1 of the calendar, and this is going to get pretty entertaining as the 5 lights are on. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. Look at that. That's a horrendous start for Whiteout. And since it's such a long run, this is going to get pretty nasty. He's going to be falling way down the grid. A lot of wheel spin, mostly from Khalifa, actually, as he fails to get that one slowed down. He's cut the corner quite badly. Will he get a bad exit on that one? Because MK Bourne will surely be all over him. Whiteout down to P6, and we've got a virtual safety car. Beesman's had a collision with Dexter. I'm trying to figure out who exactly actually caused that, though, and I can't really tell.
No, there's Whiteout lost 3 positions, but and Nick's gained 4, but I'm not sure what this is for at the moment.
I'm trying to look for any car that's got front wing damage. We've gone green again. Yeah, we've gone green again, and MK Bourne's the one that's been on it. I didn't even realise it was going green. They don't give us a warning, you see, but yeah, no. MK Bourne into the lead then. Now, this feels quite familiar to Australia, and he never got to the win that time. Hopefully he can do so this time. Pete there, side by side with Whiteout, who's just got by actually, and as they head down towards...
Matt's having a problem, Owen.
Yeah, we'll have a look at them in a minute, because I think Pete is going to get that done, but he's got front wing damage, and this is going to get pretty difficult. I'm pretty sure that front wing damage anyway. He could barely get that one turned in. This is where this all starts to get a bit messy, and yeah, I think we've actually been okay, but surely Pete has to pit. That's too much damage, especially for a wet track. He's lost half the wing, and yeah, as you say, indecisive. He's a long way down. He's broken his front wing as well. Be interesting to see how many pits after the very long first lap for Monza standards, has to be said. And look at that, a massive slide out of the final corner for one of them. I think it was Yuri, who's having a fantastic start right now, and trying to get himself up the grid. Oh, there's a big accident up there, and that is for Clyde, and I just jinxed Yuri because he had to get out of the way of all that. Whiteout's got a penalty, and that's really surprising to see people breaking that early into turn 1, because that's what Clyde did. He broke maybe a bit later than the rest would have expected, and he's creamed into the back of, I must assume it must have been Whiteout, because he got the penalty for corner cutting afterwards. Arnold's gone off as well. Arnold's gone off. I don't know quite know what's happened there, but they were side by side, Khalifa and Arnold. I don't know if there's any damage.
MK Bourne as well. There's the 5-second penalty for hitting MK Bourne.
So that's all got slowed down, I guess. The VSC comes out, and I assume one of them just slams on the brakes then. But yeah, Clyde is going to now have to hope and pray that he can get back to the pits before this VSC goes in. I doubt the VSC will go in before he pits, so it'll probably go... Well, actually, probably about now, if I'm honest with you. They don't last too long, as you know. And they don't give us warning, but it won't be long. And there we go, we've gone green again. And, well, he's going to have to try and negotiate Ascari now.
Khalifa has wing damage as well, Owen. I don't know if you picked up on that yet.
So he has hit the back then. So it's all gone wrong, really, for him. And look at that, that's Risky Racer. For the third time this season, looking for a podium spot. And he's going to get it, but it could end up being P2 at a moment, because he's got a good run here on Arnold. As you see Khalifa pit, the pole sitter not having a good start. But look at this, Risky Racer, he's bump drafting. Khalifa's got a penalty, but that is bump drafting if you've ever seen it. And Risky Racer on the outside, can he get that one slowed down? This is a P2 in the race. Out off goes the race leader and Risky. They've both gone off. MK Bourne penalty, Risky Racer no penalty. He's going to have to let... Oh, he did get a penalty. He did get a penalty. 3 seconds compared to 5. And Arnold... Well, he's going to be the biggest gainer out of all that, as MK Bourne just completely missed his breaking point, as did Risky Racer. I worried he might do that. And well, that shows how hard it is to get the cars slowed down. Khalifa and Clyde all the way down the field now. I think the only one that's not going to pass him is Indecisive, who might end up fancying a pit stop himself, actually, thinking about it. But yeah, that's one of your ones to watch. Is already in trouble. The other one, though, up into P5.
Wow,
so not all bad.
Two guys that need to get it done. MK Bourne and Risky, they're putting on a great show, but like you say, those penalties are going to hamper them at the end of the race. Arnold could be on for another 5 playoff points here if he gets this done. Long way to go.
Oh, Baz has gone off. Baz has gone off. Next into him. And TC's going past. TC up to P9 already. And I think Nick is going to be falling right down the field, because that front wind's been shattered. Who else is going to get by? I think no one else got much more damage. Whiteout's crashed.
Whiteout had problems, yep.
I think he might...
Up to 4.
He's actually going for P3. He's going for P3 right now. Or is that... Yeah, no, sorry, that's my mistake. That's Yuri, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yuri going for that. Has he got front wing damage? He has got front wing damage, I think, but he's still going. No, it's just a black end plate. No, Yuri is having the race that I said he needed to have. And I don't think Whiteout actually crashed. He might have just spun and reset. And the telltale sign is always a crash. You see someone go off on the sky, but I was wrong there, so sorry about that. But yeah, Nick isn't going to pit, but he has got a colossal front wing damage. There's no way he's going to be able to survive that for much longer. I'd be surprised if we can get into the corners. As off goes Baza again. Baza, has he got any damage as well? Because I'm surprised he's missing every single corner right now. And he has got front wing damage, but it's not that much, so I don't really know why he's not able to get into the corners, but he's struggling a lot. Someone else as well is struggling in the first 2 corners. It might have been Jess there. He's gone just a bit wide as Pete gets a penalty all the way down in P17 for him. Not a happy day for him either. But MK Bourne, well, he's got this penalty right now, so he's got to worry about that. I'm not... that could be a stop-go penalty, which means he gets to take it in one of his at least two pit stops. And so it might not hurt actually as much as Risky's 3-second time penalty, which he will have to carry to the end. But we'll see how that all plays out, I guess, as the race continues.
So what a top 5 we've got here, Owen. That's fantastic. This is really throwing the championship about. Although I think Arnold's bringing that gap down to MK Bourne now.
Well, we've seen how hard it is to fight side by side so far, so there could be more fireworks at the front yet. Surprisingly, we've still got all 20 drivers in. I know Sod's Law, there'll be some accidents now, but yeah, Yuri I think is the biggest gainer so far with 7 places gained. He must have been listening to us. He must have been spurred on by our encouragement, as Pete and Splinter have been going for it. Pete ahead of Splinter into the final corner. And yeah, Arnold's right on the back of MK1. Does MK1 went off again, I wonder? Because he's struggling a lot there. And there's been an accident at turn 1. Something's going completely sideways there. I don't want to call it the leaders. I'm hoping not going to change for a moment, but Beesman's been off. 10-second penalty. Oh! Baz has had to slow down there, and OKK's nearly gone right into, and that was an oval style accident waiting to happen, but it didn't quite. So it's all happening at the first chicane by the looks of it all today. But now, top 3. No DRS luckily, I guess if your name is MK Bourne right now, but you're still going to see all this pressure from Arnold. And well, Risky Racer just going to be looking and hoping that something goes wrong there. And we'll wait and find out when these guys start fighting away. It could end up being a rather easy move into turn 1 or even the Parabolica as you get more yellow flags at, looks like maybe the first chicane again or the second chicane, wherever it is. Indecisive's got a penalty, but I don't think that's related. Out of the final corner then, who gets the best run? It's relatively equal, but I think on the power standings it's going to be more Arnold, surely, who's got the opportunity. Risky Racer just sits back, waits. I don't think there's any way through for him at the moment, but here comes Arnold down towards turn 1. Does he get his braking right? I think he does. Risky Racer nearly into the back of MK Bull, but that was a well executed move. Arnold into the lead then of the Italian Grand Prix, and they're 11 seconds ahead of Yuri, that top 3, so they're looking pretty good.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, Beesma, 15 seconds of penalties gained on this lap alone. 30 is a disqualification, I think, so you've got to be careful this early into the race to already be getting that much penalty coverage, but we'll see how that all pans out later on. But the big question now, well, there's 2 big questions, I guess. Will MK4 be able to come back at Arnold at any point, maybe through strategy or just a flat out overtake? And what about Risky Racer? He's already net second, effectively, but he'll want to get by MK4 on track. And of course, the one-stoppers are still out there. TC on the outside of Fenegamo, they're making contact, but TC is ahead. Dexter now on the inside of Fenegamo, and that's contact.
Gone into the back of him.
Yeah,
he goes wide.
That'll be damage for big damage for Fenegamo. And Dexter, yeah, as you say, ahead of Fenegamo, but luckily TC not tipped around there. And yeah, Risky Racer is now all over the back of MK Bourne as we head towards the last corner at the Parabolica. Energy, though, has to be said, is not looking too good for Risky Racer. He'll need the exit of all exits, so maybe he's going to go for an early pit stop. Is he going for an early pit stop? He is. Does he get it slowed down? Yes, he does. And so, the first of at least 2 pit stops he's got to make. He's going for that undercut. As Dexter gets by TC up into P9. Will anyone follow into the pit lane? And let me just make sure it's definitely going to be the full wet. And new front win as well for Risky Racer. It's not going to affect him too much. He had a big enough gap over Yuri, I think, to not have to worry. And Yuri actually, Yuri actually messes up turn 1 quite severely there, but he's alright. Risky, is that onto more wets? It is. But what about Fenegamo? We've just got to check it, because you never know, really, if it's ready for interest or not. Obviously, the new front wing at least, but I think it'll be more wets. It is more wets.
Tell you what, Fleet Knighton's having a good recovery.
Khalif is off. Sorry, Khalif is off.
It's okay.
He might lose a position to Mr. John, another one of those one-stoppers. And, well, how far is TC off the lead already? He's already a whole pit stop behind, so he needs a safety car, really, ideally, to get back into this. Because Risky has come right behind, but that's with a front wing change. I don't think Arnold and NK Bourne... well, no, NK Bourne will take a penalty in the pits as well. I don't think Arnold will be behind TC. So that is, yeah, maybe a worry there for him and his one stop.
Arnold will let TC pass for the win, because they are teammates, if it comes to it.
Right. Fair enough.
Keep that in mind. So, yeah, if they both, if Darnell did both his pits now and TC did his one pit stop, TC would be winning this race. Just about. There is a lot of team play in this league. I didn't think it'd be there at the beginning of the season, but a lot of the drivers want to help their teammates out. Certainly the Pro Speed boys.
Fair enough. Well, they've got to give themselves the best chance in the chase, I guess.
Absolutely. And then it's every man for themselves in the playoffs.
No, Baz has got that completely wrong at turn 1. Here comes Dexter. Outside of the Curva Grande, that'll be a brave move if he can make it stick, and he should do. Hopefully no one has any slide with him, because that'll be an airplane accident. But I think we're all okay. As Dexter glides by, will he make the corner? Yes, he will. As Baz climbs all over the curb, no way through on the exit, so he's going to have to just settle for sitting behind him for a little bit. Although in fairness, he just hits him or he just broke layer. I got a bad angle of that. As Beasley gets yet another penalty, he's really got to be careful right now. It's only lap 8. We're barely started. So he's got to be careful here. Mr. John as well, another one of the one-stoppers. He's fighting away with Clyde, but only down in 15th place. Not working out too well for him, is it? At this stage. Now, that's Beasley getting yet another corner wrong. Ferragamo looking to get by, and he does get by. And up into...
Oh.
Whoa. Yeah, it was a bit of a touch, wasn't it?
There was a little bit.
Maybe a bit unnecessary. But,
Dutch love.
yeah. Not too much, though. Too much would be a disaster.
I'm not going to say too much, but we do still have the 20 cars running.
I was just about to mention that myself, actually. We were just saying how... Listen, I told you before the stream started, wet races ruin Italy because no one can crash. You'll just cut all the corners. Because the Sky's not taking at full speed anymore, you know? I mean, it's much easier for these guys. But, saying that, we've seen plenty of accidents, actually. But we've seen 2 virtual safety cars as well. They don't fancy retiring.
Not yet.
Not yet.
There's still time. Arnold's extended his lead over MK Vaughan to 4 seconds now. No penalties. He's got this race in his hands.
Jess has got a 5-second time penalty. Someone's gone off at turn 1. It is Ferragamo, I think. Oh no, it's Beesma again! 10-second time penalty. He's going to be disqualified in a minute. He's got, I think, 28 seconds of pens. Although, in fairness, Fredos might well have been taken off, but he's going to be disqualified. He can't keep going off at turn 1. Because what he's doing, he must be flooring it on the way out. But here comes Arno then into the pit lane. Big question, will he come out ahead of TC? Because that, well, as you say, there might well be some team play, but it could really be a race decider, that one. We're right on board with his fellow Belgian.
Arnold's there, he's gone.
Yeah, okay, he's pretty far clear then. But what's the gap? Is it over 5 seconds? Oh, it's well over 5 seconds. So that probably means that MK Bourne... Well... MK Bourne might actually not beat TC out because, like I say, the penalty. But here is Pete on the back of TC now. And he certainly isn't out of this race yet, by the way, Pete. No. Don't count him out anytime soon because at the end of the day, as he gets by TC, he already made a stop, didn't he? So, yeah, I mean, he's technically actually second place on the one stoppers so far, and obviously with one more to make, that could leave him in a net second place, I guess, at the end of all this, even though he had his troubles. He's clearly got good pace out there at the moment, as Beesma, right, another penalty. He's, if you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, it's risky racer passes TC as well as contact, and that was nearly an accident there on the back straight, and that could have been, again, an airplane crash. How many of these have we survived today already? But, yeah, yellow flags for indecisive, it's a safety car.
Yeah, it is.
And NK Bourne has got to pit at the perfect moment. The safety car is just in front of him. He'll happily take that penalty now. Camo Babo pits as well. White out too. And the rest, I assume, will follow.
AI boys.
Clyde is
1, 2, 3 at the moment.
Clyde has got a drive-through penalty. Arno makes his second stop. Dexter makes a stop. Pete makes his second stop. They're all going to pit. Surely as TC crashes into the back and risky racer and gives him a 5-second time penalty and gives himself a 5-second time penalty. His 5-second penalties are run. Yuri, where's he going to be? Of course, he's made one stop, I believe, only. And he's going to have to open another safety car, but he's currently running P2 right now. And MK Bourne is 10 seconds clear. And that's even before he catches back up to the safety car. This is shaking everything up. Here comes Mr. Jones in the pit lane. Camu Babu, 3-second time penalty. And surely we're all pitting. Beesman doesn't pit. So he's not going to get rid of one of those 5-second time penalties in the pits this time round. He'll wait a while. Clyde did get a drive-through penalty, so your curse is working wonders for him, but maybe not so much for Camu Babu, like you say. One of you wants to watch it as well.
I might have read it wrong, but I'm pretty sure Camo picked up a penalty in the pit lane. That might just be my eyesight going to me old age.
He got a 3-second penalty, I thought. Or maybe a 5-second, but let me just make this clear right now. Pete is the net race leader at the moment. I mean, well, the rest, I guess they've got to pit at some point. Well, they do in the top 40, but all going to pit at some point. That's really not worked out for TC, has it? Or for Mr. John. Because they're done for the day on their pit stops now, but so are quite, 3 hours ahead of them. So, yeah. Be interesting to see how the whole plays out, though. And did TC get the front wing change when he was in the pit lane? Obviously, he had the crash with, yeah, he did get it changed. He had the crash with Risky Racer, who then got a 5-second penalty for that. I'd argue that might get removed.
I think TC's incident with Risky was retaliation for Risky's incident with TC on the back straight that we saw. I
don't think it's anything to do with that. He just broke too late on the way into the pit lane and smashed into him and really ruined, I guess.
Next a second stop, by the way.
Yeah, the top 4, none of them have made a second stop, so they're all staying out. They're all sticking to their guns. They're going to have to do something special, though, to win this thing now. Arnold will not be happy in the slightest to find Pete ahead of him now. After Pete's
I mentioned it a few laps ago. Pete's recovery drive has been immense, and now he's put himself in a place where he could win 3 in a row.
Yeah, it has to be said, the safety car did come out at the perfect time for him. Yeah. But, I mean, you've got to work that luck into your race strategy, I guess. And, yeah, we've now got, right, the amount of people you've got to stop again then, and we'll go from top to bottom. MK Bourne, Yuri, Camo Babo, Whiteout, Frenagamo, Beesma, and Jess. They're the ones that ought to pit one more time. That's it. Really not that many. So, yeah, I think they'll actually just leave the pit stops on the screen. Again, we're all still in the full wet compound. So no real tyre situation to talk about. Never saw where Indecisive actually went off, but all we know is he did go off.
Pick up a single point, but he won't be happy because he is in that chase for the playoffs. 12 points back.
Yeah.
A lot further after this race now, especially when you look at where some of the other drivers are that he's competing against.
I wonder if Yuri's going to regret not pitting, because I don't know, just by the looks of it, him and Camo Babu as well. You know, pretty much the entire top 4. I think I should have pitted again.
Yeah.
Because they are going to fall right to the back, and there's not that many who haven't made 2 stops yet. They're not going to make the time up, you know? Even if they say get another safety car, I do wonder if they've really gone and lost their races today. Again, NK Bourne in a winning position. Looks to be finding a way maybe to not win it. But we'll see. We're not even halfway through the race yet. So, plenty still to happen. We can still have a full round of pit stops for everyone still to come. Just depends what the scenario is and whether we're going to end up on entrance again. Or at all, sorry, I say again, like it's already happened, but we haven't actually been off the full wets at all. The signs for me being that we've all so many cars doing their setting stops that suggest to me it will be full wet the entire time. But you just never know. Well, how maybe the last 5-10 laps could be slightly lighter, but yeah. Seriously, we don't get weather information in the commentary box from the game. You'd think that would be rather important, but nah. That would be too easy for us.
We might get it in the next game, you never know.
Well, hopefully they've got another beta so I can tell them to add it. It's not that they listened to me last year, but they might listen to me this year. You know, in fairness, actually, Codemasters listened to absolutely nothing that we said to them about the beta. I wonder why they did it almost, but anyway. MK Born and Camo Babu have both got 5-second time penalties. That helps Yuri out, but doesn't help them too out, as the safety car is called in. And we're going to get ready for the second half of the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. It is still absolutely tipping it down. Pete, your net race leader, but down in P5. Who knows what's going to happen towards turn 1? These tyres might still be a bit cold for some of these guys. Will they get their braking right as they all head around the final corner? How long's MK Born going to wait to put the power down? He's away now, but look at Yuri. He's side by side. Go! Go! You've got to go. You can't back off like that because you're going to have the whole field all over you. And look at this. Risky Racer, is that? Trying to go for it, or is that TC? It's TC, sorry. He's going right for it. And he's playing himself into position right now. He's been hit by Camo Baba, but he's got himself into the net race lead as he goes side by side with Pete. And there's a bit of contact. Pete gets back ahead. But TC, great gains on that restart there. And somehow Yuri stayed second. I'm very surprised by that. As TC has been off.
The big crash.
Massive accident. It all went wrong. He must have had a per exit. It's Arnold. The two Belgians have absolutely got that completely wrong. I know KK2. Khalifa's out.
Well.
There's a car park in the Della Rosa chicane. And it's Khalifa who's parked it there. And we're seeing many drivers crashing out there. But no safety car because it's only just been in, so they're not going to put it back out again. But Pete, well, this couldn't be going much better for him, could it? As the safety car finally does come out again. Picked, I'd say, to the guys who haven't pitted yet. They've got a bit of time. They're maybe not going to get a better time than that. What a hectic restart. My voice is going.
I think this is somewhat top in Belgium from last week.
How is Biesma still in the race? I don't get it. He's just got infinite amounts of penalties right now. He's got a drive-through now on top of everything. Right, does MK Born pit? If I were him, I'd just get this out of the way. Take the pain, and he is doing that. Yuri as well, take the pain. Because he was being passed, actually. Yuri was in the middle of being overtaken by Pete when the safety car came out. So he was going to lose out anyway. Risky Racer pits, so there must have been contact with him as well. Of course, this all sort of got messed up by Yuri just not passing. He could have passed, but didn't. And it's cost him, and now Risky Racer's got a stack behind
Mr. John is up
somebody.
P6, by the way.
Yeah, Mr. John, who of course doesn't have to pit again. And Nick as well has found his way back up there. And Clyde has found his way back up there. All on merit. All of these top 5 up there on merit, and they've all sort of had bad races so far. I mean, I don't really know exactly what happened though on the Curva Grande. I mean, we saw TC just fly off the road with contact with his fellow Belgian and teammate Arnold, and then we also saw, like, so KK, I think, in some sort of trouble as well. I think maybe being hit by TC actually, and then we saw Risky 2 obviously in trouble. Yeah, it all sort of went off. And it's all, like I say, because Yuri, who's come out in P8, could have gone worse from there. He just didn't pass, because you can pass for the start-finish straight, as far as I'm aware. Maybe he didn't want to take the risk, but he should have just got on with it, because we saw it. The whole field, we were 4 or 5 wide behind him, because they're all trying to stop to not hit each other because of what was happening at the front. So a lot of them mixed up there. I'm sure Pete might be better at restarts than that, but I mean, if he isn't, then Dexter, I don't know if he's won a race yet this season. Dexter, has he won a race?
No, he has not. No.
So, he could be looking alright. Let me just check penalties for these guys. We might as well.
How long have he got?
Probably another lap and a half, you know, before we can check him. So who do we go for the whole field? Pete, 3 seconds. Dexter, none. Clyde, I think, has taken that drive through. He must... No, maybe he didn't. I don't know. We only had 1 green flag lap since he got the drive-through, so he might not have actually taken it yet. He's got no penalties after that, though. Nick also no penalties. OKK no penalties. Mr. John no penalties. Splinter. Yuri has 1 penalty. So Pete actually, yeah, he's not going to be enjoying this too much because he has got that penalty.
Yep. Dexter is no slouch.
Absolutely.
Oh, Mr. John's off at turn 1.
Yeah, that might be a penalty for that. Yep, nice one.
Yep.
Come on, man, it's a safety car. Why do we keep doing this? I know I say this every single week, but I just don't know how to manage it.
Well, I'm not sure how this has happened, but OKK has sneaked his way into 5th.
This is it. He was one of the features of the act. You know, I'm going to watch this crash back because there's no point trying to speculate. There were so many black cars involved in that. That's why I thought it was originally risky. First, but then it all. Well, what didn't I need to figure out? So let's try and watch this. Figure out what happened. So we were heading through the cover ground because TC had just put himself into 4th place. And then Camo Babu might well have been involved in this as well because it was him, Whiteout, Arnold. Camo Babu got by, so he wasn't in this. Whiteout as well wasn't involved. Arnold certainly was involved. And it just speared off TC. I guess he was on the outside of the Curva Grande. Might well have been 3 wide, and that just causes problems.
Beesman's just picked up another 10-second penalty.
Well, he's been disqualified, yeah.
He's disqualified, really.
Well, it was going to happen, wasn't it? That must be his 50th or 60th second of penalties. But here we go then. We're 1 car down on the safety car. You can see him in the background there, but will Pete be able to get this restart a bit cleaner than the last one? We'll see. He's gone. He's away. He's not waiting. He doesn't want to be involved in any accidents, and he is away. Across the line, safety car pulls in, and we are green flag racing again. And Yuri's learnt that you can pass for the start finish straight, although he's letting back through. So maybe, I don't know. I'm not even going to try and question it. But here comes Clyde on the inside. Not too sure if he still has to take this drive-through penalty or not. I don't think I've seen him take it, so we might well see him in the pit soon. As it all goes off at turn 1. Yuri's been pushed off wide by oh my goodness, by Mrs. John getting his elbows out. And they're still side by side, the 2 yellow and blue machines. And Clyde there on the inside tries to get by Dexter, but there's no way through. Bit cleaner then.
Thinking about having a look at the inside of Mr. John, who struggles through the second chicane.
Yeah, he's done him.
MK Bourne will clear him into the first Lesmo.
Yep, nicely done. I saw Yuri was scampering across the chicane. He already has taken out a penalty on this lap, but yeah, we've got to see Pete make 3 seconds at least to win this race. As Baz is off in the second Lesmo. I think there's a bit of front wing line on the track as well. I'm not sure if it's his or not. I guess we'll find out if we get a decent camera angle of it. That's a terrible camera angle.
Yeah.
I think he's still got his win, so it must be somebody else's win that's gone off. As we're side by side through yeah, oh, that's Inters. I didn't even think to check the tires. Risky's the only one out there on the intermediates. Right then, we'll keep an eye on him then, as Clyde pits his different meters as well. Or was it his front wing we saw on the track? Nah, this is his drive-through penalty. That's
a shame. By the way, Arnold made up 7 places on that lap, on that restart.
Well, look at this. Your ones to watches, both in the pits. 1 for a new front wing, 1 for a drive-through penalty.
I don't know how I do it.
But Risky Racer. These intermediates are working. They are working. Actually, I thought he had to change his front wing, but maybe this is just an inspired strategy call. How quickly will he get through this group? Arnold just ahead. As you say, he made a great restart, didn't he? But he might well be overtaken by Risky, and that would tell a lot about the conditions right now. As Mr. John gets overtaken by Whiteout. I mean, the rain still looks unbelievably heavy as Arnold now puts one on the inside of Mr. John. And look at the run the Risky Racer's got.
Wow.
He's got by. Will he get by Arnold as well? He might think about it. Outside of a scar is not a great idea, but if he's got the grip, he hasn't got the grip. As Arnold goes off, he's going to go for the exit here, and Risky Racer's going to get himself up into P9. And these tyres do honestly look like they're working. They genuinely do look like they're working. Risky Racer up into P9. Pete's fastest lap. I wonder if Risky Racer will be able to beat that this time round. We'll find out as he crosses the line. Really quite wide around the final corner. He'll get a nice slingshot off that. And I think Arnaud has seen enough to go for those tyres, maybe. It's not a fastest lap though for Risky Racer, so maybe not as quick as he wants to be, but he did have to pass 3 cars, I think. And Arnaud's taking wet by the looks of it. A new front wing. So he decided not to go for the intermediates, even though he sees what Risky Racer is doing out there. Maybe he's not fully convinced, or maybe he didn't realise that the tyre he was on.
Jess is starting to catch the back of John now as she just lets Bazza through.
Yep.
I think John will let Bazza through anyway.
Yeah. John not particularly quickly through the Delaroche chicane. Got it a bit too hot on the brakes, and Bazza, yep, does get through into P10. NK Bourne on the back of Yuri, still on Yuri, but looks of it for by far his best race of the season so far. By a long way. Has a car off. OKK's in the grass. And he's got to be aware if more cars coming through. He's in the gravel again. He's going to fall down to P7, maybe even P8. He might not have the speed. Will Risky Racer fancy getting by as well? He certainly might get close. And we'll be keeping an eye on that lap time as well, of course. To see if he's going quicker or not. At the final corner. Let's see, Risky Racer, have a look on the top right, look on the bottom as well, if it's going to be purple. And Risky Racer, he's pretty much equaling his wet pace. But look at the run, he's got there. Easily gets past OKK into turn 1. P8, and a big slide for good measure, but P8. How far is he off the lead?
Splitters in the wall.
Where's he done that? Has he just lost it on the exit? Yeah, he's lost it on the exit. Virtual safety car. The gap to the lead for Risky Racer is 15.5 seconds. So if anyone pits ahead, he will be in the lead. I guess if they all pit for enters at some point. I don't think the VSC will stay long enough for anyone to consider it. But yeah, certainly Risky seems to be on certainly an interesting, promising strategy at the moment. Because they're not falling off the pace. They're pretty much on the same pace as Wets, and assuming that, you know, the further he gets into the stint, the better he'll be. Yeah, this could be interesting.
Indeed, of course Whiteout has that 15-second penalty to add on at the end of this, so that's another position for Risky. But there's going to be so many more penalties at the end of the race that we've got to take into consideration, so we've got no idea where this is going to end up.
We go green again. Whiteout had a horrendous run. And here comes Risky again. Up to try and get P6 now. Round the last corner of the parabolic. And no way Whiteout's making that corner. He's broken way too late. And he might well lose a position as well to OKK. As he scampers onto the main start finish straight. Whiteout under pressure as Risky gets at the P6. And NK Bourne, well, he's harrying now Yuri. Getting on the grass though himself, NK Bourne, and just to give it respect, by the way, Dexter don't think he's had any penalties yet, has he? So he will still be the net race leader.
Yeah, I think Pete's had a mistake.
He must
struggled to get away from the
must have had a bad restart, because I thought he was there. Yeah. Risky Racer, by the way. Risky Racer's got a 3-second time penalty, I believe. That might be all he's got. So that's just something to point out as well. He had to take the 5-second penalty in the pits. Even though I argue it would be removed, but he had to have not taken it, I guess. So, yeah.
Yep, 3 seconds. MK Bourne 5 seconds. Yuri has...
Well, MK Bourne took his 5 seconds in the pits as well. I would have imagined.
Dexter still with nothing, by the way.
Oh, look at this. MK Bourne on the inside of the Ascari chicane. He's not got much room either. That's a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. That was never going to work, in all fairness to him. Fair enough for trying, but that's not the way through. But he will get through now, but that penalty could prove decisive in the end for his final race position. He still can get by. as Pete sets a new fastest lap on the wets. And Pete, has now got that back over 3 seconds, so he's got enough speed at the moment. A lot of weaving going on that main straight, as Yuri desperately tries to stay ahead of NK Bourne. Expect a squeeze onto turn 1. He's broke too late, has he? Or no, he's alright actually, sorry. That's NK Bourne braking a bit earlier for the undercut on the way out. Mr. John is into the pit lane, so he's going to fall to the back of the grid, I'd imagine. But here comes NK Bourne running outside of the Curva Grande. There's no way this one will be defended, I don't think, by Yuri, unless he throws it back up the inside. He's going to do a Ricardo on Vettel, and this one might well work out, but he's had to cut the corner, and he's not quite able to get that one done. If he was more committed on the way in, he would have done it, but he just broke too early, actually, which is a shame.
What a shame. He was looking good.
He did try. He gave it a good go, though, so fair enough.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got to think about it as well, his race as well. Doesn't want to lose this one. It's a good position to be.
Nick, by the way, still up in third, having the race of his life with no practice.
Yeah, not too bad. He's having a good old run. Where did he start? He was right down in P19. And, well, if he can keep this one going, touch wood, then he'd be on for probably driver of the day, I guess. But we'll have to wait and see if he can actually make it work, as Pete sets the fastest lap. It might be a good decision to make that, Pete or Nick for driver of the day. But we'll make that decision when we get to the end, I guess.
Still allowing Nick to advertise 1 out of 3.
Yes.
Of course, he's been signed on a free race contract after that. If he wants to run any more with this livery, he's got to change it. I haven't told him that.
Yeah. Don't think he'll be too happy when he reads that in his contract.
I know, he's having a good race. MK Bourne has dropped Yuri, by the way, by maybe 3 seconds now.
Yep, it's now risky. He's going to be putting on the pressure, and we saw how hard Yuri was willing to defend on NK Bourne. Only 5 laps to go now, so he'll probably defend even harder in the closing stages. And he still looks to be on for his best race of the season. Camo Babo down in 13th, gets a 5-second penalty for quarter cutting. Clyde back in the top 10 after that drive-through penalty, by the way, so he's not completely out of it, which is good to see. As Arnold, 3-second time penalty, he's down in P12 still. What a race could have been for him, but it just never really came together. The 2 Belgians, as I say, it just went completely tits up for both of them at the same time. As we get yellow flags for Ferragamo at De La Rocha chicane. Not been a good day for him either. Mr. John is out there, by the way. He is on the intermediate, so I saw he was pitting. But he's just too far off, and he wants to really make any advantage of that. And yeah, not too well for the Joker drivers today, unfortunately. Safety cars really sort of put pay to that, didn't it?
Yeah. I don't think anyone's had much luck with the Jokers this season, actually.
Yeah, it's not, well, we would have had a good Joker. I'm trying to think of where it would have been, actually. I've forgotten
Australia.
Australia, yeah, it was going to be a really good Joker, but then it all absolutely went wrong. And we started to learn how these guys like to race, which is aggressively. Well, we'll say aggressively. We'll try not to offend anyone.
Speaking of aggressive, I'm just watching Pete absolutely throw this car around Monza. He's totally in the zone right now.
He doesn't want to throw it around too much and get a second penalty now, so he's just got to be careful. He's only got 3 laps to go at the end of this one, so just get this one to the end. I think it would be good advice. No need to bin it. No need to get more penalties.
3 wins in a row it would be.
Yeah, we jinxed it, didn't we? We just had to say. We just had to say it. We just had to say it that he hasn't won. It's never going to happen. Oh no! Look at this. He's turned into the new Khalifa.
Who? Sorry?
Yeah. I bet you Khalifa's happy now that he's. Well.
He can sweat again.
Yeah.
He can go back to doing what he does best. And he can come back next week for Monaco.
Monaco, then Austria, isn't it? Last 2 races.
Correct. And then we're into the playoffs. Baku, Germany, Brazil.
Yes.
followed by Japan, Canada, and then the championship race in China on June the 18th.
Right then, 3 to go. Risky on the back, but not challenging. One of his tyres is just sort of starting to fall off a little bit. You got Baza and Clyde pretty close as well, as Clyde looks on the inside of the Curva Grande and puts himself up into P9. Shame he got that drive through, eh? He would have been right up there, but yeah, he did get a drive through, so oopsie doopsie. Still, he could be up for P8 in a moment, because he's already onto the back of OKK. Oh, he's hit him.
Oh, it's just hit him, yep.
So maybe not the best way of getting by, but I imagine he will get by. He looks to have the pace at the moment. So we'll just, he'll keep it calm at the moment. In this free car scrap for P8. Arnaud is 12.1 seconds off all this. That sort of says how his day's gone from really looking quite good to an absolute disaster class. But yeah, 2 to go then. Risky racer, will he ever go on Yuri? Will Clyde be able to get by OKK? What about Baza as well, because he's still right on it. Pete now can actually afford a second penalty. He's that far ahead. Really is going pretty well for him now. Again, touch wood.
We're trying our best, aren't we?
Yes.
Risky alongside Yuri, by the way, the two teammates.
Yep. And that is P5. No real yeah, worries there.
Risky coming into this 12 points off. If he finishes there, he'll get 12 points.
Here comes Clyde on the inside, a bit late on the brakes. Yeah, well, did he quite make that corner? I'm not sure. And it won't help him on the exit either, as OKK goes on the inside. But no, he's off, he's onto the grass. He broke too late. And now here comes Baza, trying to find his way through. And he's having a slide of his own. Is the rain getting heavier, or are they just struggling on the older tyres? Because I mean, Clyde's 15 lap old tyres, maybe not looking fantastic on his car. As Clyde now gets a 3-second time penalty as he desperately tries to catch back up. Here comes Baza. Up into P8. And OKK actually didn't even try and defend that one, he just sort of let him go. Maybe fancies going for it on the main straight instead. As they crawl around the final corner, OKK find great grip on the inside actually. And dude, oh, there's contact. He did get ahead, but they don't want to crash. They've still got Clyde all over them. As Risky Racer gets a 3-second time penalty, that can cost him quite dearly. As into turn 1 we go. Baz has broken well too late there. He's going to have to cut across. Turn 2, OKK will go for the cut back. Clyde just had to hind back a little bit. As NK Bourne actually starts to close on Nick for the podium. That could be interesting at the end. But here comes OKK again on Baza. Clyde, like I say, just watching in tow. As he nearly goes into the back, he has to switch to the inside late. Cuts the corner a little bit, but does get through on OKK. Up into P9. Good driving, good reactionary driving. Here is NK Bourne on the back of Nick. That would be something if he can manage to find that way through. But he certainly has the pace at the moment to do it. As a Whiteout now climbs all over the back of Yuri. But before we watch all these guys, we've got to turn our attention to the man who's going to turn a winless streak into 3 in a row in JACKOCAR as Pete wins here in Monza. Yeah, I forgot where we were in this for a second there.
Mr. 3 in a row, Pete Knighton.
Dexter P2.
Yeah, fast lap for good measure.
Nick will hold on to P3 with NK Bourne in P4. Risky Racer, he got that penalty. Will he keep his P5 or will Whiteside takes it, but they'll lose that. So actually Risky will keep it. Yuri is in P7, OKK 8th, Clyde 9th, Baz 10th. Here comes Arnaud. He does get a point. Jess comes around the last corner. She should, or I say he'll get a point. Of course, they all get points. I keep forgetting this. Baz had so many penalties that Jess ends up P11. Now Baza, yeah, 12. Cammy will be 13. Frenagama will be 14. But Mr. John, 15th it will be in the end. But
2
yeah,
points on Mr. John.
Pete, 3 in a row then. Hungary, Belgium, Italy. If he can keep this form up when we get into the playoffs, then he'll be really looking pretty good.
Whiteout, by the way, will finish 11th with his penalty. So not too bad considering what it could have been.
No. Is John going to try some wet donuts? Or is he? Well, he must be. Wet donuts. Interesting.
I'll allow it.
This might be in the wall in a minute, you know. This is dangerously close to the wall. Yeah, panic. Yeah. I don't think it works as well in the wet as it does in the dry, to be honest.
So yeah, we didn't see Mr. John pick up the inters in the end, but I don't think it worked out.
Oh my goodness, he's not into the pit wall. Yeah, just get to the line now, man. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. There he goes.
There we go.
So that is it then.
That if he was leading, I can assure you.
Yeah. Oh, unless he was massively ahead, you never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pete, 3 in a row. Looking good then. First podium for Nick as well. In only his second race, not too bad for him.
No practice, Nick.
And Dexter, well, he's got livery of the day, he's got a helmet design of the day. He was absolutely screwed over, frankly, in qualifying, and look where he's ended up now. He'll be happy enough.
Yeah.
So I reckon it'll be a pretty happy top 3.
Driver today?
Driver today. I'm still willing to give it to Nick. I don't know if Pete's incident earlier was his own fault, but Nick from 19th to 3rd, I've got to say it'll be him. Especially with no practice as well.
Yeah, very impressive.
Right, now let's quickly confirm the rest of the field over here. So it's Pete from Dexter, Nick, MK4, Whiteout, Risky, Yuri, OKK, Clyde, Arnold, Jess, Baza, Camo, Babu, Frenagama, Mr. John, Splinter, Khalifa, TC, Indecisive, and Baza. And let's just see, Whiteout with his penalty will
11.
end up in P10 in the end, because Jess is 20 seconds behind rather than 15.
I'll work it out post-race. But yeah, okay. Owen, good race. Finally, we got a wet race this season. Very happy with that. And exciting.
I wish you got it somewhere better than Italy. Ah, well. I mean, we saw probably league race in history today with the amount of penalties Beesman managed to get, didn't we? So, I mean, if that's not worth celebrating, I don't know what is. Anyway, I think we'll end it off here before we get into trouble. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you've all enjoyed the stream, and we will be back next week for the Monaco Grand Prix. Now, wouldn't that be fun if it was wet? And yeah, we'll see you then. So cheers for watching, and safe travels, everybody.